Andrew Tate, we have all heard of him. Many hate him, many love him, very few are indifferent. Regardless of your opinion of him, however, we cannot deny that he is a money-making machine. Oh wait, you didn't know? You didn't know he was a money-making machine, huh? At one point, this man was making $11 million a month. A month. And in the whole year of 2022, he made $60 million. Don't even ask me, I'm gonna leave the sources down below. You can go check that out yourself. Honestly, before I researched him, I thought this man was just a man who said controversial things to get some clout. But now I realize this man was kind of a marketing genius. And like, by the way, I wanna say I don't even like any of Andrew Tate's content, but like real recognize real. And as a marketing consultant, I can see how he's a freaking marketing genius. I mean, from how he came out with all his content to how he marketed his products and how he got other people to market his products for him. Honestly, it was just incredibly smart, and it really had never been done before with this much intention and with this kind of awareness of the platforms that he was using. So this video is going to be talking about Andrew Tate's background, how he used outrage marketing to get the followers he did, and how he was able to convert that into a $60 million empire within a year. Also stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how we can learn from Andrew Tate and use some of his tactics for ourselves if you so please. You may be wondering, why would I spend my time, my hours, my energy researching about Andrew Tate and his marketing techniques? That's because my name is Bolaji and I'm a digital marketer and creative consultant. I've worked with every type of company imaginable. I've worked with tech companies, health companies, social media companies, artists themselves to help create creative campaigns and help take their brand to the next level. So essentially, this is my bread and butter, and I love watching people in pop culture use covert and also very obvious marketing techniques to get themselves to the next level. And I want to help you understand it so that way you can at least understand how you're being marketed to, and maybe you can use some of these tips for your own business. Okay, so let's get into his background. Emery Andrew Tate III was born on December 1st, 1986. He is an American-British social media personality, a businessman, and also a 4-time world champion kickboxer. What a question shot! So after he decided to retire, he did try a bunch of things to try and become famous. One of them was actually going on to Big Brother. I didn't know that.
So it's day one. I decided to stay quiet. I decided to learn a lot about my housemate.
However, he was kicked off after 6 days because a video surfaced of him beating a woman with a belt. Both him and the woman said that video was consensual. I actually saw the video and it was incredibly disturbing, like genuinely disturbing. I literally wanted to vomit. It didn't look consensual to me. She looked like she was in pain and she was crying and it would just look terrible. But that's the person you guys decided to stand. Then he started a webcam business. So he would get women to show their bodies on the webcams and they would get a percentage and he would get a percentage. He then started posting on YouTube for 2 to 3 years and he really started blowing up in 2022. He became a multimillionaire. He got 33 sports cars, a bunch of Bugattis apparently. And then obviously more recently now, he got into a little argument with Greta Thunberg and he ended up getting arrested for sex trafficking charges. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to number 2, how he used outrage marketing to get a huge fan base. I'm going to read this definition verbatim because I don't know the definition off by heart. Outrage marketing, also known as shock advertising, is a type of advertising that deliberately, rather than inadvertently, startles and offends its audience by violating norms or for social values and personal ideals. So the key word here is deliberately rather than inadvertently. You're doing this on purpose. You are trying to get a reaction. You want people to react to what you're saying. Shock advertising was principally designed to break through the clutter, designed to capture attention and create buzz, and also attract an audience or certain brand and bring awareness to that brand. Obviously, Andrew Tate isn't the first person to do this. He will not be the last person to do this. Shock advertising isn't just done by people. So like, for example, if you think about like if you see on a cigarette pack and you see like a picture of like cancerous lungs or like a baby dead or something on the cigarette pack, that is shock advertising. It's supposed to make you be like, oh, like this is scary, like this is weird, this is something that's shocking me. You know, you might see an advert about like drinking and driving and the first thing you see is like someone getting hit by a car and it's like, what the fuck?
Hit me at 30 and there's around an 80% chance I'll live.
But that's the whole point. It's supposed to make you be like, what the fuck? Shock advertising, he didn't invent it, but he definitely used it. I'm about to insert a bunch of clips of Andrew Tate being Andrew Tate.
Life for a man is harder than life for a woman. We need to have a lot of shit to be an important man. To be a woman, you need makeup.
If you're the kind of person who feels like they need therapy, you're useless. Never say go into bed. Going to bed is emasculate. I say all the time, your friends should bring out the worst in you. The majority of men have no money, no power, no sex from their wife.
So as you can see, this guy was incredibly controversial. Do I believe he believed half of the things he said? Yes and no. I think partly he believed it. I think he definitely emphasized and overemphasized some bits because he knew it would get a reaction from people. So what really worked for him is that he was incredibly polarizing. So with Andrew Tate, you really either loved him or hated him. I don't think you were really allowed to be indifferent about him. If you supported Andrew Tate, the other side would be like, how could you support Andrew Tate? What the hell is wrong with you? The guy is a misogynist. The guy is a creep. The guy is weird. And then on the other side, it's like the people who did support Andrew Tate and like, they're like, well, he's helping us men. He's helping us be better people. He's making us money. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So as you can see, it was like very much you're either one side or the other. You had to hate him or you had to love him. Being polarizing, it makes people choose a side. They have to choose a side about you. And when you have to choose a side, a lot of people then really dig their heels into that side. So even if you didn't really want to love him as much as first, because so many people hated him, you're like, wait, but why are you attacking my mans though? Like, he ain't even that bad though. Like, no, but seriously, what's your problem? You're a hater. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you're bringing up feelings, incredibly intense feelings of love or hate, and you're making people have a feeling and opinion about you. Almost like when you make music, like the reason why music resonates so well with people is because it relates to a feeling. Like, you feel something when you hear a particular song. Well, you feel something when you watch an Andrew Tate video. And what's really interesting is in his like, I wouldn't say it's like a manifesto, but when he's talking about in his Hustlers University, how to like build an audience and stuff like that, he literally says verbatim, you should aim for 60% fans and 40% haters. So he's even saying like, basically you should try and get people to not like you. Like, he says comments and controversy are the keys to success. Like, and which is the truth. Like, he's not lying. And he says, you want arguments, you want war. And let me tell you for something for free. The reason why pages like the Shade Room do so well is because they will post something and people will literally have conversations in their comment boxes, right? Which means that this is showing the platform that, wow, people are really, really engaged in this topic, and let me show it to more people. So yeah, he was definitely imploring the use of outrage marketing. And I cannot lie, it works, because I saw so many think pieces about Andrew Tate. So many people had so much things to say about him. I'm like, damn, like, who is this guy? Why is he so important? And lastly, I think to do this outrage marketing, which he did really well, is that he had the perfect target audience. Like, the perfect target audience. His target audience was young, white, middle-class males. So I was watching this thing and it was saying how basically young, white, middle-class males, so like from 16 to 24, 25, or even 30, they've been kind of cast aside by the media. So there's not really a lot of stuff that is like dedicated to them and their experiences and their ways of living. Now, I definitely do not agree with that. I'm thinking like, isn't all media like kind of like modeled towards white males? But there are white males that believe this. So they do believe that they have been cast aside and there's nothing really for them. So he was able to identify this subgroup of people who feel like they've been ignored and target them. And quite frankly, if they had been ignored and Andrew Tate was the only person feeding them with the juice, you know, then of course it makes sense why they would jump and rally behind him. It was a great selection of target audience. And I always say to my clients, like, you have to make sure your target audience is clear as day. Like, you need to know who you are making content for. You're not supposed to make content for everybody. It doesn't make sense to make content for everyone. Even news channels do not make content for everybody. They know who their audience is and they make content for their audience. So when you are trying to start a business, or you're an artist, or you're a painter, know who you are making your content for and double down. Do you know what I mean? Andrew Tate did that beautifully. The great thing about his audience is also they're young, they're impressionable, they're bored, they're at home. A lot of them don't have girlfriends, on their phones all the time. And so this is a perfect target audience because they can spend all day watching your videos. You know, they have the time to do so. They can spend all day defending you on Twitter, defending you on Instagram, because they have the time to do so. Like, you're choosing the best types of people, bored ass people. Like, it's great. Sometimes I'll be looking at Andrew Tate and I'm like, I don't like you as like a person, but I respect your mind. Like, he has so much influence at a point where young white suburban males were converting to Islam. Now, I don't know about you, but that is crazy. Like, that is so, you know, young white suburban males tend to be the most Islamophobic and the most racist. I'm generalizing, by the way. Of course, there's loads of white males who are perfectly fine. But if anyone's gonna be racist towards them, it's white males. Am I right? For him to be able to get that subgroup of people to convert to Islam shows the amount of influence he had over his audience. And I feel like that should not be overlooked. And we're going to go into how he was able to do this after, so don't worry. When I think about an influential person, like Beyonce comes to mind because god damn, everybody loves Beyonce. But I don't think even Beyonce can get people to change their religion.
Beyonce, sweetie, I'm so sorry.
You know what I mean? And so it's really interesting that in such a short space of time, he was able to have such a connection and impact with his audience that they're willing to like forego their religion for Andrew Tate. Like, crazy. Let's go on to Hustlers University. So Hustlers University 2.0 was basically a program that he offered to his audience. It basically would teach you how to make money online. So it had 6 different ways of doing so. I think one of them was like drop shipping, affiliate marketing, and a bunch of other stuff. And so for $50, you would get access to this site and also access to their Discord. And it was actually like a learning kind of process. So he would handpick professors to teach people, and you know, this seems all right. It doesn't seem bad. One of the 6 ways to make money was through affiliate marketing. And I'm going to give you a definition of affiliate marketing because I just don't want to assume that everybody knows all the terms that I'm talking about. A marketing arrangement by which an online retailer pays a commission to a person for traffic or sales generated from its referrals. So essentially what it means is, if I'm selling something and I give it to you to sell, for every sale you make, I will give you a commission. And so Andrew Tate's commission was 49%. So 49% of 50 is basically $25. So basically every time they would sell this course onto somebody else, they would earn $25. And by the way, before we really get into it, this is what you call a beautiful funnel. Like, let me explain the funnel to you. Oh, I saw Andrew Tate on TikTok. Oh, let me go and watch his YouTube and see what he has to say. Oh, okay, let me click on this Hustlers University. Okay, let me go to affiliate marketing. He really planned it to get to this funnel where, okay, now you're making money for me. Let's talk about this affiliate marketing and how it worked. So Andrew Tate realized very quickly on that TikTok would reward early accounts who dropped videos and allow like 1 or 2 of their early videos to go viral. My belief is TikTok does this so people stay on the app and they get addicted to like going viral. And so he realized that if he could get other people to make new accounts and post his stuff, most likely those first videos they post of him will go viral. What he did was he said, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to do affiliate marketing, but affiliate market my shit, you know what I mean? So he created a Google Drive doc with all of his most controversial like videos, long form content, short form content. He would get them to edit it, and he would even teach these young kids or young people how to edit the videos in ways that is A, very eye-catching, but B, won't get flagged by TikTok for like creating like duplicate videos, because obviously if everybody's posting the same video, then TikTok would flag that. But he taught them how to get around that. Look at Andrew Tate teaching people life skills. So make it into a short form content, then post it on TikTok, post it on YouTube, post it on Instagram, post it whatever you want. He would encourage these same people to leave their affiliate link in their bio, and every time someone decides to buy from Hustler University because they are so impressed by what Andrew Tate has said, they would earn a $25 commission. Now, let's talk about why it works, which is, in my opinion, the most interesting part of this. With this system in place where basically you're allowing your supporters to earn money, come on. Like, that's why it worked. He has an army of people who are willing to post his shit everywhere, defend him, and in return, he will literally pay them. Like, it's like crazily, I mean, sometimes we underestimate how much money is really influential and powerful. And sometimes we think it's like millions of dollars. No, a little $25 can go a long way. How many people do you support? celebrities, musical artists, and have you ever made a penny off of them? But you're here in the comments defending them to death. If you understand that there's people out there that will defend a celebrity to death and not even make a penny off of them, imagine now when you're making money off this. And so it makes sense how we went from not even knowing who Andrew Tate is to seeing him everywhere in a matter of months. He was literally paying people to post his shit. Everybody had an incentive to post his shit because why not? I'm gonna make $25. Like, you don't understand, yeah? To you, $25 is like nothing. But okay, what if you do 100 of those sales? Now that's $2,500. Oh, is it so small now? From the comfort of your own home, from the comfort of your own bed, making $2,500. Oh, please. No one's that rich. Oh, please. This is how he was able to create his army of Tates. I don't know what they call themselves. Like the Taters, Tater Tots. I don't know. I mean, this led to his hashtag on TikTok being viewed 14 billion times. I want to go and see like what Beyonce has, what Trump has, what Kanye West has, because those are like, they also have super stans. 1 second. Okay guys, what's crazy is that Andrew Tate hashtag has been scrubbed off of TikToks. Beyonce had 15 billion views, which she's been around for like literally 20 years. So, and Trump had 40 billion views. So Andrew Tate had 14 billion views in the space of like a year is crazy. Like that is crazy numbers. Like, are we understanding that's crazy? Going back to like his army of supporters, one kid made $11,000 in 1 week from the comfort of their bed. Another kid was making $40,000 to $50,000 a month. Like, let's be real here. Now do we understand why Andrew Tate had the fans he did? He paid them bit. Like, honestly, it's crazy, like, because it makes so much sense, but at the same time, like, I had no idea. So I really just thought, this guy has fans. Like, why does he have fans? Well, he was paying his fans and he was paying them well. And they were doing a great job. He really was changing people's lives. So of course these people will support him. Why would they not? I love Drake, his music. He ain't never made me a penny. I love Rihanna. She ain't never made me a penny. You never really get people that are trying to make you money. And so do you understand? Like, are we getting it? Are we getting it? I hope we're getting it. I know I'm beating this point to death, but Jesus. This all happened, this all culminated, and by July, he had 55,000 students, making him 2.7 million in that month. Move over to August, he had 160,000 students, making him $8.1 million in 1 month. October, 220,000 students, making him $11 million in 1 month. So the source, which I'll link down below, basically culminated it and said he made $60 million in 1 year. And I totally believe it, considering like the numbers. And can I just say, in October, when he made that $11 million, he actually was blocked off of every social media site. So there was a point in time where he was banned off of YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. He was banned, he was silenced. However, he was still able to make $11 million because his fans was doing the work for him. Like, talk about passive income. That's what you call passive income. Like, you got into a point where you don't need to do nothing. You don't even need to be visible. You don't even need to have social media for people to be on social media for you, making that money. Like, guys, this is genius. I'm sorry, this is genius. Essentially, he had an army of people motivated and committed to pushing his content, because if his content was pushed, they would make money. And then with his money, he would use it to buy lavish cars and repeat the cycle, be like, yeah, I'm rich. You could be rich too if you join Hustlers University. Da, 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 da. And so the cycle continues. Next, we're going to talk about what we can learn from Andrew Tate. But before I continue, pause. This video is sponsored by me. I work really, really hard on these videos. I do so much fucking research for these videos. So if you could please subscribe to my channel. If you want to, give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Honestly, if you like videos analyzing marketing techniques in pop culture, then you would love my channel. So definitely give me a subscribe. I think the first and the most important thing we can learn from Andrew Tate is that being polarizing works incredibly well. The truth is, a lot of people just thought he was just saying controversial shit and he was just doing it for clout. But as we can see, it was actually a lot more calculated than that. And, you know, I would say that if you are trying to employ this method, you should just figure out what your end goal would be. Like, as I explained earlier about the funnel, yes, you can say controversial shit, but what is the purpose of it? What do you want as your end result? If you have a good end result, it works. I mean, to be honest, he didn't just say controversial stuff. He did encourage people to work out, stop being on their phones all the time, go and talk to women, leave the house. These are, fairly good things to promote to young men. However, that's not the stuff that's gonna get your name out there, is it? It's the stuff like, I don't talk to my sister because she's a woman.
But when I see brothers and sisters who are really close, it's super weird.
His model was building off of controversy and, using that traffic to lead to sales. It works. And it's not just Andrew Tate that does it. Kanye West does it. Trump does it. Do you get what I mean? These are people who are incredibly notorious for being controversial. What being polarizing does is it does make you unappealing to maybe a large amount of people, but for your diehard fans, you are incredibly appealing to them and they will do anything to support you. So it's an interesting one because you do gain a stan fan base, or even if you're like a product, your product has a stan fan base because people who decide that they want to support this product, like they are doing this knowing that maybe in society they might be looked across as weird or looked across as a bit odd. They might be out like the outcast, whatever, and they are deciding to do that anyway. They are deciding to put their how they are seen in society at risk because they want to support what you do. And those kind of people are amazing customers to have. I mean, you cash cow. And the last thing I would say about being polarizing is it does stir up emotion. I think what we all need to understand is when we have a product that we're marketing, we want to stir up as much emotion as possible because people relate to emotion. People relate to emotion more than facts. If I tell you I love Andrew Tate, you can give me the fact that he's a sex trafficker. The fuck I look like I care. I love him. I don't, but I'm just saying. So secondly, what he did well was the use of podcasts. We didn't really speak about that much in the whole entire thing, but I did want to just touch on it because what was really good was when he was blocked off of all these sites, he did go on a lot of podcasts. I mean, he was even on Piers Morgan. And what that does is it helps to build brand awareness outside of just your fan base or your customer base. Like when you go on other people's platforms, they might have a completely different audience to you. They might have similar audiences. It might be adjacent, or it might be when you do that pie chart and it's it comes over, but there will still be the other side of people who don't know who you are. And when you go on these different platforms, you are building your own audience. And sometimes it does look more legit when another platform is interviewing you or another platform talks about your product. It makes it seem more legit because it's not just you self-promoting at this point, it's also other people are promoting it. And what's interesting is that Andrew Tate didn't even have TikTok for a really long time, but we were seeing him all over TikTok, and that's literally because other people were posting him. So it gave him that validity. If he posted, his controversial stuff, people would just be like, what's this guy saying? Move on. But if someone else has posted controversial stuff, it's almost saying this person agrees with what he's saying. So it gives it a bit more validity, if you get what I'm kind of saying. What I would say to that is if you are starting a brand, starting a business, an artist, consider trying to get on other publications or getting another publication to talk about your product just to give it that extra validity, I mean, even if you have to spend a bit of coin, what you have to understand is that all these people are probably paying to be on these platforms. A lot of these people, when you see them, how did they get on this? They paid and they got on it. Okay, so don't be afraid to pay. And it just makes it look more like other people are interested in what you have to say as opposed to just you being interested in what you have to say. Do you get what I mean? The third thing he did well was having a unique look. Everyone knows what Andrew Tate looks like. I'm pretty sure. The bald head, the sunglasses, is very clear. He has a look. To even go further, he has a way of speaking. I can literally hear Andrew Tate's voice right now, and I'm I know how he sounds.
Their life sucks. That's the first thing.
If someone were to play him and I didn't see it, I would still know how he sounds because the way he talks, his accent, the way he looks is very identifiable. So what we can learn from that, consider having a unique look. It doesn't have to be super complex. His look is probably not even on purpose, you know what I mean? He's probably just has a receding hairline, so he went bald, right? But more than that, it made him identifiable. The way he speaks, he might not actually speak like that on a normal day-to-day, but on YouTube, he's gonna speak like, and it's not just people who are incredibly in the public eye. Someone like Steve Jobs, who, I mean, he he made appearances in the public eye, but that wasn't the main part of his job. But everyone who saw him, he always had that black turtleneck. That's how you identified him. So it doesn't have to be something incredibly expensive. It just has to be something that works for you. The last thing he did incredibly well is giving people a true incentive. Now, we don't talk about this enough, like just as a marketing community in general, but the world is getting bigger, the world is getting more expensive, and people want more shit from it. And like, your incentive has to make sense. Like, if you really want to grow, give people an incentive beyond just the community that it's building. Community is a great incentive, by the way, don't get me wrong, but take a leaf out of Andrew Tate's book. Consider a different incentive, and it doesn't have to be money, especially if it's not like you're trying to build an MLM or whatever. Incentivize your supporters, give them a reason to want to share your stuff besides the fact that they like it, because there's so much competition out there for your like give them something beyond that. Money is a great motivator, but it's not the only motivator. Sometimes it's just worth finding a motivator that works for you. Do you know what I mean? It could be a giveaway, you know, giving away your product. It could be a lunch, you know, you get a lunch with me if you share my video, you know, I'm gonna pick one lucky person to get to have dinner with me and we can go out for a hotel. Like, do you know what I mean? Or like, oh, I will give you shares of my company. Like, a lot of tech startups, that's what they do. They will give the early people that start with them shares of their company, and that incentivizes them to work hard, because damn, if I get 0.05% of this company and then it goes on the IPO for like 10 billion, then how much do I get? Like maybe like, I don't know, like maybe 5 million or something like that. Consider thinking outside the box. You know, you don't have to offer someone $25 to share your shit. That's it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, but there's ways about it, and it's about thinking outside the box. So overall, even if you love him, even if you hate him, we have to agree that it was a genius plan from the beginning. Andrew Tate has single-handedly revolutionized and changed the content creation space. Like, Andrew Tate did this with like really little to no subscribers, and he was able to grow to like be this guy who's like incredibly famous. Imagine people who are already famous, what they can do with this kind of information. His plan was executed beautifully, but really what helped him take off and 10x was TikTok. And that's what I'm saying, like, you guys need to utilize TikTok while it is still like this. And the same with like YouTube and Instagram. We're still in the early days and there's still loads of market space for you to take. So consider how you can use these platforms to help take your brand to the next level. If you like this video, make sure to check out my video on Central C. He's a rapper, and how he used covert marketing to make both of his mixtapes #1, which is very crazy. And if you own a brand and you would like to have a consultation with me on how we can think of creative marketing ideas to take your brand to the next level, definitely click the link below, the Calendly link, and we can chat and we can have a good hoorah, and hopefully I can help you to think of some really cool ideas for your business. Thank you guys so much for watching. I seriously appreciate it. Mwah. Goodbye.